Hello Internet, and welcome to my live reaction for the first chapter of Cipher Academy, the new manga by Nisioisin, author Monogatari and Medaka Box, and like a million other things. So I'm gonna try this one out. I know there's 3 chapters out already, but it's long. It's it's a Shonen Jump pilot, and it's Nisioisin, so it's almost 60 pages. And 60 pages of Nisioisin is not gonna be a quick little affair. So I'll read the plot summary on the Manga Plus website as a bit of in lieu of a previously on. Iroha is an average student newly enrolled in Cipher Academy, a Spartan school where students must crack code after code after code with barely enough time to catch their breath. Then a mysterious person named Kogoe gives Iroha an unusual pair of glasses with a crazy secret behind them. So yeah, it's like both Nisioisin and like a heavy emphasis on puzzles. It hopefully will be a lot of fun. I don't really have much, I haven't really heard people talking about it since it started. But, I'm expecting a lot of clever wordplay. It is Nisioisin after all. A bit of uncomfortable horniness. But all in all, a good time. So we'll see. We open with a code that's very long, and I'm not quite sure any of the details of this code really matters. And a narrator, I can't quite tell, because looking at the bottom panel, we see, I think this is Iroha, the lead. But I can't quite tell if this narrator is to her or to us, the reader. Can you solve this code? The answer is in 47 pages. That is, if you can survive until then. And we have our sort of introductory color spread. Chapter 1, World War IV, we fought with pencils and paper. During World War II, the US selected talented women from all over the country, we have a little bit of backstory of codes, I guess, to form a cryptanalysis unit to analyze classified communications, creating the basis for what is now known as the NSA. So as a fun fact, if I recall my family history correctly, I believe my grandmother was one of those women. Interesting little tidbit connecting me to that. Anyway, time passed, and in modern Japan, a new school was established to deal with the next great war, Cipher Academy. And we see, who I'm assuming is Iroha, holding that paper, and is this their image of her with a couple of I'm presuming important faces imposed behind her, and the academy itself. But we fully open, with a very sort of, to use the adjective that the intro, little, synopsis used. For the next 3 years, you will go on I jumped on I skipped the whole point there. To use the adjective that the synopsis used, a very, Spartan teacher. For the next 3 years, you will go on a code-solving spree, cracking code after code after code. Plots both at home and abroad will be exposed from the home front. And the class all says in unison, "Yes, ma'am!" And everyone except our heroine in the center there is very calm about this. I'm a little curious, there's a certain militarism to this woman, which ties into the whole... It ties into the little tidbit about World War II. But I don't know. I'm not sure if this is going to be, some big pro-military, or text or something. But our lead just thinks to herself in panic, "I ended up getting into the most preposterous school. And here I thought this was going to be a progressive school because the uniforms for boys and girls included pants. But they're military uniforms. This is a hardcore military academy. Yeah, I feel like you should have looked that up before you joined the school, hon." Okay. Gathering 15-year-old girls together and talking about the home front. I mean, didn't Japan renounce war almost a century ago? Which, again, I'm curious as to if this story is going to be getting at some larger point about warfare as a whole. I mean, I'm definitely, jumping the gun a bit, looking for themes on, the second real page of the story. But still. We have this line about ideology censored, which I'm not sure how we're meant to take that. The teacher goes on, "Since it's the first day, I'll go easy on you, my little fledglings. I'm giving you a printout. Take one and pass it on." And we see it's a self-introduction crossword. With a bunch of across clues that all lead to the one down of what is your name. I'm guessing it's like made for each individual, I guess. And I'm assuming this is Iroha, though we haven't quite gotten that confirmed. As she panics over the sheet. "We're introducing ourselves with crosswords?" But we see all around her the other girls are very quickly getting to work. Huh? How can everyone just dive into an unintelligible assignment like this without any hesitation? I've never actually done a crossword puzzle before. They did these things way before my time, like during the period of rapid economic growth, which, if my history serves me correctly, is the 80s, question mark? Which gets to a little something I sort of noticed in the design of the academy and the chapter title's allusion to World War IV, is this may be some like somewhat semi-distant future, perhaps. Anyway, the girl behind Iroha raises her hand. "Finished." And it's this, like long straight black hair, the sort of like cool icy type. And Iroha looks back at her and is sort of stunned. "She's beautiful." So is the fact that this story is set in an all-girls school, and that it is Nisioisin, who is never not at least somewhat horny, gonna add a little bit of like Yuri to the situation here? I don't know. Again, getting ahead of myself. But the teacher tells her, "That was fast. Oh, but of course. I'd expect no less of you. But what are you..." So apparently this is a somewhat famous person. "But what are you doing at this school? There was another path open to you." And the student tells her, "Peace has made this country complacent. And it's time to..." Speech censored. Which is the same joke with the ideology censored. Which seems to be a sort of sense of this war-mongering ideology getting censored. I don't know. Curious to see where Isin is going with all this. As she goes on, "I'm here to give it a kick in the ass." And the students all sort of murmur amongst themselves as Iroha thinks, "Well, I was completely bewildered by that assignment, but in the end, the curriculum at Cipher Academy isn't so different from that of a regular high school. Language arts, from the 8 most common languages to ancient Japanese and classical literature, we see like the sweat drop of nervousness as that not that different from a regular high school starts to like disprove itself. Arithmetic, including all higher mathematics, science, chemistry, geology, physics, anatomy, astronomy, mechanical engineering, social studies, geography, history, geopolitics, law, and economics, physical education, including first aid and survival skills, music, band practice. After classes in the library, we see Iroha like slumped over the table. Her initial thought of this being a not that different from other high schools is very much disproven here. No, it actually is completely different. I still haven't finished that assignment from the first day. Are crosswords supposed to be this hard? People back during the bubble economy days must have been incredible. Okay, it might be early to start looking for themes all over this place, but I do, it's already scratching that itch that Isin is getting at something. I'm not quite sure what, but there's something with military ideology, with the whole peace has made us complacent. Something about the sort of like anti-peace movement that we like you occasionally hear from in modern Japan. There's thoughts swirling around already in like page 10. So I'm already very intrigued by this series. The reason I came to this school. And she fits in like the top blank of her crossword puzzle, a job. And she starts writing, and then the door slams open. And a girl out of breath, I believe this might be the Kugoe that the synopsis mentioned, But we see she's got these sort of like spiky pigtails. She's clearly disheveled. Her left leg looks like it might be mechanical. At the very least, her knee looks mechanical. I don't know. But anyway, she tells Iroha, help me hide. And Iroha looks back at her, and the girl just gives her a little, like, half grin. And I guess Iroha does, because the war girl from earlier, along with two flunkies, a very sort of classical student council vibe going on. Or I'm saying classical, I'm distinctly thinking Satsuki Kiryuin, which is maybe not a classical student council vibe, but Kill la Kill was one of my first technically school anime back in the day, so it's classical to me. But, you know, in this sort of, like, the cloak around her and, like, the power here, I am getting a Satsuki vibe from this girl. Her two henchmen don't remind me of any other Kill la Kill characters, any of the other student council members, to, like, make the comparison more direct. But she's got a distinctive Satsuki vibe. But all they see is Iroha studying, like, calmly now, no longer the sort of scattered shit. She's, like, playing up this sort of act. I guess not let Miss Not Satsuki suspect anything. Though I saw the next page, so I sort of like saw this coming already. But if you look beneath the table, you can see a certain outfit piece. And Iroha notes her, huh? Toshasai-san. So I guess Toshasai is her name. It's interesting though. I would have expected it, like, I've been thinking for a few pages now that I would have expected some kind of introductory panel for the characters, whereas, like, Iroha, like, we still haven't actually heard Iroha's name. It's only because of that synopsis, that sort of supplementary material, that I know who the main character is. Anyway, Iroha goes on, huh? Toshasai-san? I'm the only one using the library. Did you need something? Toshasai questions, has anybody come in here? A little girl in a white coat and glasses, for instance. Nope, no white coat and glasses. Not even a black coat and no glasses. But we see that little girl is hiding behind Iroha right now. And Toshasai sighs, I see. Thank you. Sorry for disturbing you. By the way, how do you know my name? And I'm guessing Kagoe has already told her, because that sort of causes Iroha to panic. That the game might be up here. But her subordinate tells her, young miss, that's your classmate. The one who sits in front of you? In front of me? I don't remember. If that's the case, why is there a boy at Cipher Academy? Wait, is Iroha a boy? Because the way that, like, what they say earlier, the thing about I'm here because the uniforms for boys and girls included pants, like, that's, I mean, unless it's the kind of, I don't know. I definitely not get that vibe from them. I don't know. We'll see what's going on with that world building. Anyway, Kagoe, like, sort of perks up at that comment. And the short-haired attendant, subordinate, I should say, tells Toshasai, actually, Toshasai-sama, Cipher Academy isn't an all-girls school. These days, it's not ideal for girls to be the only ones breaking codes. So they're admitting a token boy to each class. And, okay, like, I'm not quite like that Iroha reaction. It feels to me more like she's getting misgendered. That's the vibe I get. I'm not sure if that's true, but we'll see. We'll see, Isin. And Kagoe is still, like, listening in on this. And Toshasai sort of scoffs. Token indeed. Alright then, person who sits in front of me. If you happen to see that little girl, and she notes the blank crossword puzzle and just sort of scoffs, no, never mind. Boy or girl. I can't count on someone who can't do homework that simple. And she leaves, leaving Iroha alone with whatever the hell is going on here. And the kid comes out. Phew, you saved me. That villainous young lady doesn't give up easily. If she'd caught me, I'd be half dead by now. Thanks, person who sits in front of me. Or should I say, person who sits behind me. I think you're referring to the fact that Iroha's, they have their backs to each other. And Iroha sort of fills her in. The name's Irohazaka. Iroha Irohazaka, first year, class 1A. Well, thank you, Irohazaka-kun. I'm Kagoe Horigatoge, first year, class 1M. Can't say that too loudly, though. And Iroha thinks to himself, Class M? This school has classes going all the way up to M? And Kagoe, stretches. Are you going to be alright, though? I mean, allying yourself with someone you've never met before... with someone you've never met before instead of your classmates? I could be a real bad person, you know. Account retracted. Again with that. Like a wanted war criminal or something. I'm trying to piece together all of the retracted, all of the, what's the word used earlier? The censored. And the first two times we see it, with the teacher and with Toshasai, it ties into the War-Mongering. Not necessarily to War-Mongering, but to the sort of anti-peace ideology. Right? It's clear as with Toshasai, in the speech, peace has made this country complacent, and it's time to speech censored. But that ideology censored on page 6 is also tied in with Iroha's, I thought Japan renounced war almost a century ago. Which also that affects my timeline questions from earlier in the video, because it's been almost a century since the Second World War, so it's at best maybe 10 years from now. But anyway, back to my point. I don't know what that ties in with the account retracted line. I don't know. We'll see. Like a wanted war criminal or something. But Iroha tells her, what do you mean? I don't regret what I did. That's what it means to help someone. That's elementary, isn't it? And Iroha thinks, that haughty girl doesn't think of me as a boy or as a classmate. Again, not quite sure there's something weird going on with gender here. I'm not quite sure what it is. But Kagoe comments, you're a kind person, Irohazaka-kun. I love that. And I'll repay my debt to you right now. Is this the homework that villain was talking about? And she looks at it. Printouts in this day and age? What a joke. And this place is called a library? Paper dictionaries seem weird too. So it's future enough that, the idea of using paper is sort of seen as old-fashioned? And then she sees a job with Ship, we can see, from earlier when she was, right before Kagoe came in. And Iroha lights up. Iroha lights up as Kagoe asks, would you like me to do this for you? Huh? But then they sort of pause and take the paper back from Kagoe. I appreciate the sentiment, but if I don't solve it myself, what's the point? And Kagoe looks at them and then says, well, no need to be so serious. Please at least accept this. And she puts a pair of glasses on the table. Trendy glasses. Stylish, aren't they? Put these on and you'll look really wise. And wearing glasses can't be called cheating. And Iroha sort of notes, that's true. Okay, I'll take them. Thank you. And Kagoe just grins. And, the title, the synopsis gives us some idea that, the glasses are mysterious in some way. They're an item we should kind of watch out for. Alright then. That makes us even. I better get out of here. Bye-bye. Iroha calls out, Horigatoge-san? And thankfully Kagoe tells them, call me Kagoe. And can I call you Iroha? So, what do you want? And Iroha asks, Kagoe, why did you choose this school? Why Cipher Academy? Kagoe just asks them, what about you, Iroha? And they flash back to what the subordinate said about, so they've allowed token boys to be admitted. And they just say, there's no tuition and no entrance exams, and I had nowhere else to go. I guess that's why. That's an interesting little tidbit there, I'd argue. The no tuition and no entrance exams for a school that seems to be so proud of its puzzle solving. There's no entrance exam? That seems weird to me. I don't know. I mean that's kind of the thing with pilots. They can seem a little weird until the series has sort of set its concepts into like something akin to solidity. Anyway, and I had nowhere else to go. I guess that's why. And Kagome interrupts them. Oh, well, I can't say this too loudly, but I'm here because you can become a hero without resorting to violence. That's my reason. Which is interesting, given the sort of the anti-peace framing of so much of Cipher Academy that we've seen so far. I mean, so much, we're like 20 pages in, but you know what I mean. And Iroha's taken aback by that. The Allied forces counterattack after deciphering Enigma, Germany's once prized code-making machine. The Japanese Navy's System 97 cipher, Purple, had been deciphered before the war began. There is also the little-known story that while the U.S. Army and U.S. Navy were fighting enemy countries, behind the scenes a competition was unfolding to recruit female university students and teachers in order to develop their own code units. Get it? It's not just about using weapons on the front lines. Using your head on the home front is a part of war too. Even if you're not physically tough, if you're good with codes, you can protect your friends and family. From now on, code battles will be the front lines of war. And that's exactly why winning wars without fighting is my dream strategy. Okay, I'm definitely holding her thought process there in conversation with whatever this series seems to be saying about war. Because it definitely seems like that's the kind of story we're in for. Something examining the notion of war, the nature of war. So again, things to keep in mind as the series progresses. Anyway, and that's exactly why winning wars without fighting is my dream strategy. And Iroha is sort of taken aback by that. As Kagome announces, okay, let's take on this assignment. When you're breaking code, you gotta do it with a smile on your face. And Iroha is cheered up by Kagome's like genuine enthusiasm for that whole war without violence thing. Intellectually, I'm not quite sure how that would work, as the codes were used to like aid in battle. I don't know. I'm not quite sure Kagome's the focus on codes will create war without violence. But we'll see. We'll see. And so Iroha picks up the glasses and puts them on. And looks at their reflection. Maybe I do look wise, but it's not like changing my appearance changes the reality. And they sort of like sit down and get to work. And then the table like lights up. Huh? What is this? And then we see, she's like she's done the whole thing. She's done the entire puzzle. I guess because of those glasses. And look, like we can see the answers. I'm not quite sure what the point of all this is exactly. Because, like, you have to guess what the clues... Like, it doesn't give you the clues? I don't know, I find that a little weird to me. But anyway, Iroha, we see the class sort of looking at the results or like looking at everyone's self-introduction crosswords. Iroha sort of blushing, as the teacher calls out, "Iroha-zaka, can I speak to you?" Iroha-zaka calls out, "Ma'am, I'm sorry I submitted the work late." But the teacher tells them, No, I wanted to praise you. You seemed out of your element, so I was worried about you. Did you get help from a friend? And Iroha sort of chuckles. Yup, you could say that. Yeah, you could say a lot more than that too. I see. Well, keep at it, and take on every puzzle that comes your way, and keep making new friends. And Aroha sort of lightly waves, yes, ma'am. And then I'm interested in this, this panel here of what we eventually see is, what was her name again? Toshasai? Yeah? Is that right? Yeah, Toshasai. Grabbing the Aroha's paper from, like, behind Aroha. It's a neat panel. I'm not quite sure why it sticks with me so hard. But she turns to them, Iroha Irahazaka. I should include the kun suffix, right? I'm sorry for saying those mean things to you yesterday. I'd like to apologize. Can you come with me for a minute? I guess there's, she can only really respect puzzles, this Toshasai. But we see Aroha, like, visibly nervous, at the thought of spending time with her. And now they're getting bullied, like, literally being blocked off by Toshasai subordinates, and, like, threatened. The two subordinates have weapons, and Toshasai gives her this, like, fake grin as the two subordinates are ready to fight. Don't get the wrong idea. We want to become friends, that's all. You should make new friends, right? But you've got to choose them. Yukiko, the presentation. And the short-haired subordinate, who we now know as Yukiko, tells her, understood, young miss. And she gives this whole speech. Here before you stands Kyora Toshasai-sama, heiress to weapons manufacturer Kick Attack Planning, which builds every type of armament except nuclear weapons. Okay, so we can see why she'd be so pro-war. Making friends at this academy with her will cause you no problem. On the other hand, making her your enemy will make your life hell. And she flashes back to, Aroha flashes back to the teacher. So that's how it is. There is another path open to you. And they sigh, she didn't even need to be reincarnated to become a villain. Which, is something of an answer to the series' war discussions. Calling her a villain right away. But Toshasai tells her, from what I saw yesterday, it's obvious you wouldn't be able to complete this assignment. Which, Aroha, that makes them uncomfortable. It'd be too clumsy to say the other girl did it. Especially number 2. You got something, didn't you? From Kagoe? Why don't you tell me? And there's some distinct intimidation to this whole sequence here. Like, so there's a nice, like, creep factor to Toshasai. Why don't you tell me? We're friends, aren't we? We shouldn't keep secrets from each other, right? And Aroha flashes back to Kagoe. If she'd caught me, I'd be half dead by now. Which, we see the sort of Kagoe's desire for war without violence. In contrast to the weapons manufacturer, it's easy to see the conflict already brewing there. But Aroha tells her, it's just like you said. We have to choose our friends. And I can't be friends with someone who gangs up on me and threatens me with violence. Aroha, pushes back, shocking Toshasai. Yukiko and the other one are also a little bit shocked at Aroha's outburst here. I did that homework on my own. I'm the type who doesn't get going till it's crunch time. And to tell the truth, it was elementary. When I said a friend helped me, I meant, an imaginary friend. Iroha, I don't think anyone's gonna buy that. But we flash back to Kagoe, to Iroha saying to Kagoe, when I help a person, I don't regret it. But Toshasai pushes back. An imaginary friend? You tell a very persuasive lie. It's not a lie. I've had one since kindergarten. But Iroha focuses on the she thinks I'm persuasive line. If it's a lie, then I'll do whatever you ask of me. Okay. And she presses her finger on Aroha's forehead. Okay. If you're lying, for the next 3 years, you'll be my manservant. Oh, I'm recognizing some of this stuff here. This is the opening, that first page. Those bars. The next page we see is the puzzle from the beginning of the chapter. Mm. And Aroha laughs it off. Aw, oh, geez, Toshasai-san. That was just a figure of speech. But Toshasai sort of, is skeptical of this. Do you think figure of speech is a term that exists at Cipher Academy? How unfortunate. And here I thought I'd be able to make my first male friend. But Iroha pushes back. How do you intend to prove I'm lying? If you're going to throw me off the roof, I would never do something so barbaric. Although I could. To prove your inability, despite what you say, is as easy as ripping a page out of my notebook. And she rips off the page of the notebook, and it's the puzzle from the beginning of the chapter. Which I don't know if I need to get too deep into the weeds about. But also we see sort of we see the puzzle like 0.02, as tied to, as we already saw the 01 with the puzzle. So this is I guess the series' second puzzle. Who amongst us does this cryptogram refer to? And we see number, we get all their names and birthdays. 1A number 10, Kyora Toshasai. 1A number 3, the short-haired, Yukiko Omamura. And 1A number 19, the other one, Tayu Yugata, born January 4th. Solve it to find out. Didn't you say you work best when it's crunch time? By yourself. And they all just, loom over them. I don't think they'll see the glasses trick coming. I think they could still pull the glasses off. But anyway, I'm still alive so far. And they look over the puzzle. What is this? I don't understand any of it. It seems like some kind of composition, but not really. It's like fake ancient writing. It gives me the creeps. Is it supposed to spell out one of their names? Or their seat number? Maybe where they were born? And Iroha looks over the puzzle. Is it okay to put on my glasses? I have trouble reading small print when I'm nervous. And Toshasai buys that. The persuasive bit, that she referred to earlier in the scene. Do as you please. They're just glasses. That long hair must be in the way too. Why don't you tie it up? Tayutan, lend him one of your spare hair ties. Sure. And she hands her a spare hair tie. Thanks. Here you go. And Aroha ties up his hair, pulls out his glasses, but mutters something as Yukiko comments, "Huh? Is this kid talking to his glasses? I feel sorry for him." But it gets the job done. As whatever he said activates the power of the glasses. Ice cold reading. And we see the characters on the on the cryptogram start to light up. It's just like yesterday. The paper's glowing. No. The cryptogram appears to be glowing. No, it's not that either. The cryptogram's not glowing. The three of them can't see this glow. So what's glowing is happening within the lenses. In other words, these aren't just an accessory. They're smart glasses. Which is kind of what I assumed would be the trick with the glasses. Put these on, the Kagome flashback, and you'll look really wise. And his own flashback, although it's not like changing my appearance changes the reality. But I can see, reality has been expanded. Looking closely, it's not all the text that's glowing. It's only the kanji characters. Yesterday, it was the only column I could see glowing. And I understood that all I had to do was solve that column. Okay, so I'm guessing that's the column of his name. Okay, so if I pick out only the kanji, and I can't quite make out the message because I don't speak any Japanese, but he looks up at the Toshasai squad, which confuses them because they don't quite know what he's doing. But the fact they're intrigued is like a sign needs to be a little bit more subtle. And as he looks over the kanji, as I suspected, this is every prefecture, isn't it? Okay, I'm not quite sure what that's getting at. And Because that doesn't quite answer which of the three of them it is. But Toshasai presses, I wonder. If that's what you think, then that's your answer, isn't it? But he goes on. It's in his own head now. It's a list of the prefectures. There's no doubt about it. It's basically the first kanji of every prefecture. And in cases where multiple prefectures have the same kanji, like with Fukushima, Fukui, and Fukuoka, then it shifts to the second kanji. So Yama is not Yamagata, Yamanashi, or Yamaguchi, but Okayama, which has an overlapping Oka with Fukuoka, right? Similarly, Ne indicates Shimane, which shares Shima with Fukushima. Miyazaki overlaps with Miyagi and Nagasaki, but if Gi is Miyagi, then by elimination, Miya is Miyazaki. That means... So here's an interesting thing with the glasses, is that I figured they would just sort of solve the puzzle for him, but it really is just like a hint. Like he still works out all of the stuff with the prefectures on his own, and it's not exactly simple. You know, the whole working out the shared kanji thing. Like I don't think that would be super easy. But Yukiko just sees him like circling the air from her perspective. I feel sorry for him. But Iroha realizes, got it. And it's just the prefectures all listed out. And he panics. Wait, it's obvious this is a list of prefectures. But what do I do with this information? I thought it would be a birthplace. Should I just throw out a half-baked guess? I've got a 1 in 3 probability of getting the right answer without even thinking about it. With this villain girl's forceful personality, she'd make her own name the answer, right? But a look from Toshasai sort of cows him. No. Keep thinking. Sorry, I've been going on so long. I'm running out of, the ability to speak. Also, whatever the fuck is going on in my nose right now. Anyway, think certainty, not probability. Yukiko just pities the boy. I feel sorry for him. Wait, the sequence is weird. Why are they in this order? Given how unnatural the text is, it's not random. There's definitely a pattern here. Is it by population? Area size? Clearly not either of those. Again, he's working the details of the puzzle on his own. It's not just the glasses doing it for him. There's there's a confidence boost involved. I don't know. And he murmurs to himself, in what order are they listed in the first place? And we see a bunch of arrows connecting them. It does look like the JIS, Japanese Industrial Standards coding. In which case, what method did they use to reorder this standard? Think. How pathetic would I be if I got this awesome buff but still couldn't solve it? And Toshasai mocks him. I'd say you're almost out of time, manservant. And Iroha tells her, it's Iroha Irohazaka, right? And Toshasai mocks, yes, I know that's your name. But you don't need it anymore, do you? Because I'll be calling you manservant for the next 3 years. And Iroha pushes back. No, I mean, Iroha Irohazaka. That's the name in this cryptogram. And that gets Yukiko, and the other one's name was Tayu. By surprise. They were not suspecting this sort of victory from him. All you said was, who amongst us does it refer to? I never imagined you would include me as well. Were you really checking out my self-introduction crossword? Or were you planning to laugh at me, imagining I'd play it safe and guess with a 1 in 3 chance? And Toshasai goes on, you sure speak ill of me. How hurtful. But how about you cut the insults out and explain how you solved it? And Iroha gives his answer. There's 1 metropolis, 1 circuit, 2 food prefectures, and 43 regular prefectures. In other words, 47 districts. And the number 47 brings to mind a certain song we learned in classical literature. The poem Iroha, a pangram that uses each of the 47 classical hiragana characters once. By assigning the 47 hiragana in order to the JIS ordered prefectures as initials, then rearranging them in the order of the Iroha poem. That's what you get in this cryptogram. It seems the ancient writing was actually a hint. Again, like I was saying, that is not something the glasses told him. That was already in his brain. He just needed the like the one little hint to work out the rest. And we see that a little bit in what he tells us about the column in the self-introduction crossword. He solved that and could get the rest of it from there. So like he's not some ordinary kid. He's good at this, I guess. Therefore, the person this puzzle refers to is me. Class 1A, number 1, Iroha Irahazaka, born November 21st. Finally he gets his own little introduction box. And solving that was elementary for me, young miss. And he gives this grin as Toshasai doesn't really respond. Yukiko and Taiyu wait for an answer, which the long pause gets Iraha a little uncomfortable there. But she finally claps. Perfect score. Brilliant work, Irahazaka-kun. And Iroha just, like, drops to the ground in exhaustion. You know, gives a bit of a smile. The glasses dropping uncomfortably off his face. Sure hope... it's way too early for, like, Toshasai to learn his secret with the glasses. But the fact that they're that awkward image is a little bit disconcerting. In light of your efforts, I'll give you a pass for today. Starting tomorrow, you're on the run from us. Just like that little girl. Okay, so... She has this sort of you're either with me or against me mentality, which fits a kind of warmonger vibe. A sort of anti-peace vibe. But again, like the back half of this chapter hasn't really dealt with that sort of war discussion, though I expect it to be a big theme going forward. Anyway, Iroha suddenly realizes efforts. And then he calls up, Toshasai-san, actually and he then says, Toshasai, wait. Your puzzle was solved, which means you lost. Account frozen. The same thing, the same sort of style as the other three. Before he goes on, so doesn't that mean you become my maidservant? Am I comfortable here? I'm not sure. We'll see. And Toshasai freezes. We're not quite clear... Like, again, that account frozen bit is still weird to me. And Toshasai's, like, freeze there causes the Roha to, like, fully panic. Yukiko is, like, ready to fight him. Why you? And here I was feeling sorry for you. But Toshasai holds her back as she approaches Iroha herself. It wasn't me. It was the glasses. No, I mean my imaginary friend. And also, I like the detail, though, that, like, his panic causes the hair tie to come loose and his hair has fallen down. Okay. But yeah, she bows before him. Ask of me whatever you wish, master. Please drop this. Oh, Toshasai's, like, baiting him, you know, knowing he's not gonna actually do anything. Iroha does freeze up. Since you seem to need nothing at this time, please allow me to take my leave, master. And as she leaves, is just speech censored, speech censored, speech censored. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with that. But we see Yukiko and Taiyu are understandably pissed at him. He was in the wrong there, I'd argue. But he just thinks as they leave, all those parting threats, and not a single printable word? Okay. Oh. Ah. I was reading that next line trying to work out what was going on there. I've worked it out now. Because Iroha then holds the glasses. What's with these glasses? They can talk? Are they not just AR, but AI too? So it was because I see, because when you see that bit, it has that sort of, like, double, like, angular speech bubble of like an intercom, like an electric, like a phone call or something. It was the glasses talking. Which is what Aroha's getting at there, with it was the glasses not referring to solving the puzzle, but for saying that to Toshasai. Okay. We'll see what's going on with that. And Aroha comments, looking at the glasses, what kind of girl runs around with high-tech glasses like these? And we see through a little camera on the inside of the glasses, Kagoe is watching Aroha. Who am I? I told you. I'm Kagoe Horigatoge, Class 1M. Can't say that too loudly, though. In any case, you're one to watch, Aroha Irahazaka. To be able to utilize my war weapon at that level out of the blue like that, I wonder if it would be best to put you straight into the fray, just as you are. Into the mining war for the 50 million morgue of cryptocurrency assets lying dormant in Cipher Academy. To be continued. So it's a war for crypto. Well, that is not going to age well in the next few months. Okay, but so I do, like, once the glasses are AI thing dropped, I was like, wondering if that was going to override all of my stuff about Aroha largely solved the puzzle on his own. But I don't think it really will. Like, we can tell when it's the glasses talking. It's the sort of double border, the angle border. Whereas when Aroha was talking, it was all himself. So Aroha is, like, not bad. Like, he might need a little hint every now and then, but he worked out a lot of shit I don't know how anyone would have ever gotten. But I don't know. I'm not going to spend too much time going into this chapter in detail right now, because I've already been going for over 45 minutes, and I'm kind of tired. And I kind of want to stop right now. But my basic thoughts are that I'm not fully, like, gung-ho on this series. There's a number of points I'm a little skeptical of. Where it's going with the war thing, the crypto bit at the end. Like, I'm not quite sure if that's just like, oh, it's cryptography and cryptocurrency. Okay, there's a connection there. Let's make that what the plot is about. But again, I don't really think that's going to last for, like, I don't think that's a theme that will, like, it feels like the sort of thing that will be dated very, very soon. Like, I don't think crypto is going to be a big thing for very long at this point. It's fallen apart, along with the NFT market and everything. But yeah, I'm curious what's going on with the war, with, like, all the war speech, like the war theming. There's the censoring that I find to be very interesting. Like, what is the connection there? What exactly is the point? Like, what is the connecting dots of all of those? The account frozen is the thing that the glasses say to Toshasai. I don't know. There's a lot of weird bits here. When I get to chapters 2 and 3, later tonight or probably tomorrow, I'm really not filming another video after how long this one turned out to be. Which, I suspected going in. I don't know. There's a lot to explore with this series. Whether or not I end up liking it or not, because I'm still sort of on the fence of liking it or not, it will definitely be something interesting to talk about, at the very least. Like, the videos will at least be, I hope, interesting. I don't know. Like, I'm hoping it ends up being good, but we'll see. But there will always be something to talk about, I suspect. So with that said, I'm going to leave this video off here. Hope you all enjoyed the chapter and the video itself. If you did, feel free to drop me a like or subscribe, or, do whatever makes you happy, And as always, your life is your own, okay? Bye!